Good evening. It's 6 p.m. and we are going to begin the Planning Commission for Tuesday, February the 10th. If you would please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So welcome to the Planning Commission. At this time, I would like to ask anyone in the room, if you plan on speaking tonight, you think you might speak, or you're one of our applicants, to please stand. All right, if you would raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth? If so, say, I will. Thank you so much. All right, in order for tonight's hearings to go as quick as possible, we want to give everybody their time, but if you are going to speak, direct all comments to me, the chairperson. Please, when you stand up, say your name and your address. And then if several people are speaking and you agree with them, you can just let us know that you agree with the previous speaker. So thank you for being here. And with that, I will call the roll. Ask for the roll.
Commissioner Nesbitt.
Here.
Commissioner Wiley.
Here.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Here.
Commissioner Torres.
Here.
Commissioner Young.
Here.
Right, thank you.
Chair,
Yes.
I make a motion we approve the consent agenda.
All right.
Second.
We have a second from Michael Young. And did everybody have a chance to read over the minutes? Any questions, discussion? Right, I have a first and second. I'll go ahead and call for the vote.
Commissioner Nesbitt,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Chair Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 5-0. All right. With that, staff, I call for us on our first short-term hearing for the evening. It is not Short Avenue. We are going to do case number 25-410 on 409 South Main Street.
Yes, this is an application for a short-term rental located just south of the Independence Square on the east side of Main Street. Here's a notification area map as required by City Code. A zoning map of the surrounding area shows a variety of zoning district classification and land uses. The area to the east and south of the proposed short-term rental consists predominantly of single-family zoning district and single-family homes as well. The area to the north of the proposed short-term rental is characterized by the Independence Square and its variety of commercial uses, and the area to the west of the subject site contains a variety of commercial and industrial uses, including the old Examiner building, as well as a construction services location directly across the street. This property is actually part of the original plat of Independence, so recorded in 1827. The parcel is approximately 22,700 square feet in size. County records indicate that the dwelling was constructed in 1908 and encloses approximately 1,300 square feet of living area. What's not shown on the aerial imagery is a new driveway that was constructed under a permit off of Lynn Street. So Lynn Street is a local street along the rear of the short-term rental site. So that'd be to the right or to the east on the aerial image up on the screen. Here's a street level photo of the front facade and street level photos looking northbound toward the square and south toward the residential corridor subdivision. There's a floor plan of the proposed short-term rental the applicant provided, and a picture of the new driveway as I discussed previously in the rear of the property off of Lynn Street. The nearest short-term rental is on Liberty Street. It's well outside of the 500-foot buffer required by City Code. Staff does recommend approval of the short-term rental application with the standard conditions. In this case, the maximum number of bedrooms shall be 3, and the maximum number of occupants shall be limited to 6. That concludes my presentation. I'm open for any questions.
All right, thank you very much. Do we have any questions for staff, commissioners? All right, seeing none, I'm
Chair.
going to, yes.
So, Gabe, since we don't have the picture of the parking area, has it got enough parking spots then?
Absolutely. And I'll actually go back a couple slides here. So here is, whenever staff did a site visit, put up a sign, we also went around rear and along Lynn Street and took a photo of the parking area. As you can see, that's newly constructed. The dimensions of the parking area are 18 by 64, so ample room for their required parking.
Okay.
Thank you very much. All right, at this point, I am going to invite the applicant to come forward. and state your name and your address for us. Your address.
My name is Damon Caldwell. The address is 409 South Main Street, Independence, Missouri, 64050.
All right, what would you like us to know about your short-term rental? Okay. What plans do you have for preparing it to take care of your clients? Do you live close by?
I do. Yes, so I don't stay too far from the square myself. My main address is 605 North Main Street. What was your question? I'm sorry.
No, that was it. Just
Okay.
you live close by, so you'll take care of your guest. Right, and there's a list of recommendations. Are you okay with all of those?
Yes, ma'am.
The noise monitor, et cetera? Okay. Commissioners, does anyone have any questions for our applicant?
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Nesbitt.
have you been running a short-term rental already, or is this your first one, or?
This will be my first one in Independence. I have run short-term rentals in Kansas City and currently in Sugar Creek.
Okay, so you already got 2 going right now. What platform do you plan on using?
I plan on using Airbnb and VRBO along with a third-party program by the name of, I forget the name of it, but it's a third-party program to be able to send out messages automatically and things like that. Hospitable,
Oh, okay.
that's the name of it.
So noise monitoring's no problem? You take control of that? Do you have that at your other places or not?
Yes, we have that in other places, yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, any additional questions? All right, thank you very much. All right, is there anyone in the room who would like to speak for this case? Anyone who would like to speak for? All right, is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition? Anyone who'd like to speak in opposition? All right, seeing none, I'm going to close this public hearing.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Commissioner.
I move we approve case number 25-400-10, short-term rental at 409 South Main Street.
Okay, I have a first
Second.
and I have a second from Commissioner, I'm just looking at you, so Commissioner Young. All right, any final questions?
Yeah, Chair, one more question here.
Yes, Commissioner.
I see that the property owner's Jack Murphy. Is that correct then? So it's
That-
not, so Gabe was just up here, right? I mean, no, that was him was up here, Jack? That was you, okay. And then we also got Properly Solutions. So is that the name of his company or?
That's correct. Yeah. So Damon Caldwell represents the property owner, Jack Murphy, with Dale's Property Solutions. So Dale's Property Solutions is the company or corporation that Jack Murphy has incorporated under at the state level. That's what they do business under, and Damon Caldwell represents the property owner. Okay. That's my understanding, and you may have to defer to the applicant for further questions on that.
I have closed the public hearing, so do you have any other concerns?
That's it.
All right. I did have a first and a second, so I will call for the vote.
Commissioner Nesbitt,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Chair Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 5-0 for case number 25-410 for the short-term rental at 409 South Main Street. Good luck, and thank you very much for choosing Independence. All All right, the next case is case number 25403, short-term rental at 16401 East Cogan Drive.
Yes, this application for short-term rental approval is located off of Lee Summit Road and Cogan Drive on the south side of Cogan. Above is a notification area map as required by city code. A zoning district map of the surrounding neighborhood shows that the neighborhood, Glendale Gardens, is composed of single-family residential properties, and the entirety of the land use surrounding the proposed short-term rental is also single-family. Aerial imagery of the subject site. The site is described as Lot 1039 of the Glendale Gardens subdivision. The parcel is approximately 8,000 square feet in size. County records indicate the dwelling was constructed in 1977 and encloses approximately 1,376 square feet of living area. The structure can be defined as a raised ranch-style house with a northeasterly aspect. The property contains 3 legal bedrooms and is provided with a double-wide driveway. Here's a street-level photo of the front facade composed of brick and lap siding. And street-level photos looking generally south and generally north up Cogan Drive. Floor plan of the main level shows 3 bedrooms. A floor plan of the basement level shows a 4th bedroom. This bedroom is not up to building code standards for residential occupancy, so if residential occupancy were proposed, it would need modifications. There's a map of the nearest short-term rental units showing that there are no short-term rentals within 500 feet in accordance with city code. Staff does recommend approval of the short-term rental with the standard conditions. In this case, you'll see in your packets tonight that the parking at this site is a limitation. The reason being is, if you look at the aerial imagery, just back a couple slides, that the south side of Cogan Drive has a sidewalk. So to prevent any encroachment onto the sidewalk, not enough driveway area is provided for 4 vehicles. So the limitation for this short-term rental tonight is the parking. That concludes staff's presentation, and I'm available for any questions.
All right, thank you very much, staff. Any questions for Gabe, commissioners?
Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Nesbitt.
Okay, Gabe, so they're only planning on 4 people max?
That's the limitation.
Okay, because of the parking, or is that just because it's got 4 bedrooms, you got 3 upstairs, so I didn't know.
So the limitation is because of the parking, and in this case, the house does have a garage. However, the property owner has elected to prevent any guests from using the garage. So if they were to open the garage to guests, then the city could permit additional bedrooms to be occupied, but no parking along Cogan Drive and no encroaching into the sidewalk. So the capacity for the driveway is 2 vehicles.
So Cogan Drive's and no parking on sides?
It is a collector classification street. So if it were located along a local street, then street parking would be permitted. In this case, it's a collector street.
I drive that road every day, and I'm trying to remember. I see cars parked on it. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is it a no parking area or not?
So I did not see any no parking signs.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
But
remember seeing any no parking signs.
due to its classification as a collector street, the city is not permitting street parking for this short-term rental.
That's fine with me on that. I was just curious what that meant there. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you.
All right, so Gabe, to clarify, there's 4 bedrooms, 1 is not usable. So that leaves 3 bedrooms, but we're only going to use 2 because only 2 cars can park at the home.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I should have mentioned this early, but none of our short-term rental applicants tonight have been operating.
That's correct.
Okay. Good. Thank you very much. Any additional questions for staff? All right. At this point, I will invite the applicant to come forward. Once again, please state your name and your home address. All right, tell us about your short-term rental.
Yeah, just kind of new to the business here from a short-term rental perspective. I have owned the home a little over 2 years now in June. Figured it'd be a good opportunity to into the business. Currently, I am living there, but I'm planning on, I have a lot of local family, so planning on moving in with them while renting it out, just to see how the business goes. I figured it'd be a good opportunity. Actually, being in Independence, Square, 25 minutes from downtown, World Cup coming June, July. So, yeah.
All right, and you are, you've gone through the recommendations and are good to follow through with all of those?
Absolutely. Yeah, like you said, 2 parking spots right now. We have the downstairs dwelling, so it's not like we rent that out. But I guess if I decide to expand that property and use the garage, clearly, you guys
And are you going to be the one that takes care of the guest in the home?
Yes, yes,
Okay. And your relatives that you'll stay with are close by?
yes, yes, in
Okay.
Independence. Yeah.
All right. Anything else we should know?
No, hope you guys consider me.
All right. Commissioners, any additional questions for our applicant?
Now, I'm a little confused here. Why would you not go ahead and open it up for the 3rd bedroom and open up the garage? I mean, because if you come back to do it, Gabe, will he have to come back this way, or can you guys just formally go through with it?
So we would take the case back to the Planning Commission for review if the applicant wanted to increase the bedrooms.
Okay, that's what I would think, but I just wanted to make sure. So do you understand? So you'd have to go back through the application fee and everything again if you want to do that. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you're going to do this, I don't know why you wouldn't open up the garages.
Yeah. I think I'm taking baby steps into this business right now since this is my first time. So I figured I'd start with the 2 in the driveway first.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, it's up to you what you do, but
Sure.
it seems like to me it seemed more reasonable to go ahead and open it up to all 3 bedrooms because I know it's probably going to end up being rented for all 3 bedrooms. I mean, that's just why they're going to bring people in. If they only have 2 cars, they're probably still going to have 6 people. But I'm just saying, it's limited to 4 adults, correct? With 2 children, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so the limitation is on the adults,
Right.
and then there is a limitation on the number of children.
10 total.
It's up to 10 occupants under city code, but the children don't factor into the maximum occupancy per bedroom of 2 adults.
Okay, so do you understand that? I didn't
Yep.
know if you knew that or not, so.
Yep.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Right. Is there anyone who would like to speak in in favor of this case? Anyone who would like to speak in favor? Anyone who would like to speak in opposition of this case? Anyone to speak in opposition? All right, seeing none?
Chair, before you close it,
Yes.
can the applicant come back up?
Yes,
I have another question.
come on up. Thank you very much.
Okay, since you know you can't park on Cogan, I don't know if the city's recommending that you put a no parking sign inside so tenants know that they cannot park on the street. I don't know if there's any, if that's got to happen or not.
So a no parking street sign,
Not from the city, but the tenant has to put one on the inside so that that the people that rent it know that they can park on the street.
the parking information should be supplied by the business operator as part of their welcome packet or notifications that are, prominently displayed in the dwelling. So a sign on the exterior in the right of way particularly would not be appropriate for in
Right,
this
no,
particular
no.
case.
I understand that. I just want to make sure the applicant knows that he needs to make that someplace in his procedure that there's no parking on the street. I want to make sure you know, because I don't think that's in one of our regulations, so I just want to make sure you voice that out or tell them somehow.
Yeah, it'll be in the welcome packet.
Okay,
Yep.
just want to make sure you knew that, so.
Yep.
That's all I ask.
Thank you. All right, any final comments? All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. Any final discussion between us, commissioners?
No. Chair, I make a motion, we approve case 26-400-03, short-term rental, 16401 East Cogan Drive.
Second.
All right, I have a first and a second, and I will call for the vote.
Commissioner Nesbitt,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Chair Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 5-0 for case number 26-400-03, short-term rental at 16401 East Cogan Drive. Thank you very much, and good luck on your, I think you called it baby steps into this. Rick, I did want to, when I called it to order, I gave the wrong case number. Do we need to correct that?
As long as we voted on the right one.
Okay, we did. All right, thank you very much for clarifying. All right, our next case is case number 26400 and 0. Is that 4? Short-term rental at 1947 South Belmont Place. Gabe, you again?
Yes. Yeah,
Aren't
Brian
we
isn't.
lucky?
Yeah, Brian isn't here tonight, unfortunately. So, but I'll try my best. So this is an application for short-term rental approval of a property located on the east side of 291, north side of 23rd Street. So 1947 South Belmont Place. It's a notification area map required by city code. A zoning map of the proposed short-term rental and the surrounding subdivision shows that it's surrounded entirely by single-family in zoning district and land use. This is lot 39 of the Hialeah subdivision. The property is approximately 8,700 square feet in size. County records indicate the dwelling was constructed in the 60s and encloses a floor area of approximately 2,000 square feet. The property can be described as a raised ranch style house with a 2-car garage and driveway. So the main floor of the house has a living room, kitchen, master bedroom, and 2 additional bedrooms. The rear level has a utility room and a bedroom, and the second floor of the addition has another family room, den, and bathroom. The property has a 2-car wide driveway and another single-car wide driveway on the east side of the property. The driveways do allow for the required 4 parking spaces. The applicant has provided a noise management plan that includes the use of a noise monitoring device. The applicant has indicated compliance with all of the city's use regulations pertaining to short-term rentals. That includes noise monitoring, trash collection, bookings, business operations, and so forth. Here's a picture of the front facade of the subject site. Is characterized by white lap siding or facade and a building addition in the rear. A floor plan of the subject site shows the basement level with a bedroom that does conform to building code for residential occupancy. A floor plan of the main level shows the main bedroom and 2 additional bedrooms. And lastly, that upper floor plan shows a family room. An evacuation plan provided by the applicant in accordance with city code. This should be provided in your packets as well. And a parking plan showing that the short-term rental can easily accommodate the required parking. The nearest short-term rental is more than 500 feet away across 291 highway, meeting the city's density limitations for short-term rentals. Street level view of the surrounding neighborhood shows Belmont Place looking north and down Belmont Place looking south. Staff does recommend approval of the application for short-term rental approval with the standard conditions. In this case, the maximum occupancy permitted is 8, and the maximum number of bedrooms shall be 4. That concludes staff's presentation, and I'm available for any questions.
All right, commissioners, any questions for staff?
Hey, Gabe, sorry.
Yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
Gabe, that picture you took of the front, was that recently with all the leaves, or is that something you got offline?
That is recent.
Okay, so it's not very well cleaned up outside is what I'm looking at. Is that correct?
I would agree.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any additional questions? All right, I'm going to invite our applicant to come forward. Once again, state your name and your address.
Okay. My name is Nilesh Patel, 1106 Southwest Foxtail Drive, Grand Valley, Missouri.
All right, tell us about your short-term rental.
Yeah, no, we've had this as a rental property after we renovated it a couple of years ago. Timing, tenant moved out and World Cup coming up. We thought we'd give it a shot and see if there was demand in Independence for short-term rental. The home is kind of oversized, I think, for the neighborhood. It has a lot of neat spaces that could be game rooms for families, pool tables, that kind of stuff. So we thought, it would work out pretty nice as that type of use. So that's the process on trying this out. We, have done some short-term rentals in other areas, just not in Independence, and thought we'd give it a shot.
Okay, would you like to respond to Commissioner Nesbitt's question about the yard?
Yeah. Again, this was, tenant just moved out. We were waiting to see whether or not we get this approved. We get it approved, and obviously we're going to go in and clean everything up. It'll be on a, the good thing about having a rental property or a short-term rental versus a rental property is the lawn maintenance is not on a tenant. It's going to be on us, and we'll have it with a regular lawn service, fertilize the yard, mow it every, week to 10 days, depending on rain. And, it'll look a lot better than it does when it's a rental property and a tenant that's not really a homeowner is responsible for the yards.
Okay, Chair.
Yes, Commissioner.
I hope you cleaned up better. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. It will be. It's just, again, we haven't got to it because we don't know whether or not
Right.
we're going to be doing this or not. So.
this is not a raised ranch, this is a multi-split then, is it correct?
I'd call it a split entry.
Yeah, split, because I'm sitting there trying to follow the diagrams, I'm going, this is not, this, from the front of it,
Yeah,
doesn't
it's-
look like that.
It's a split entry, and then you see that peak over
Yeah.
the ridge line. That's an add-on that goes back, and that's two-story on that. So it's a split entry, then with the two-story in the back.
Two-story and back, okay, that makes better sense, okay. I see you got another driveway, there's another driveway off to the side, is that what it shows?
Yeah. I guess the previous owner had a driveway put in, I guess, in the past.
Is it paved? or-
yeah, it's asphalt,
paved? Okay,
asphalt
oh, it's
paved.
asphalt, okay, I'm trying, so I'm guessing I'm seeing it there in that picture, that asphalt is part of that property
Right.
then?
Yep.
Okay.
Right. Any additional questions for our applicant? Yes, Commissioner O'Neill.
Yes, on the south side of the property toward the rear, there's a large tree that looks like a cottonwood tree possibly, that's been recently trimmed. Is that tree alive or dead?
On the south side?
Yeah, toward the back of the house where the stairs are.
Oh, back where the stairs are?
And the-
I know we sent a tree service over because we had some fallen limbs and whatnot. So if it's dead, we'll get it cleaned up. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I personally don't know.
Well, it's fairly close to the house, so I was just curious
I
whether it
don't,
was
you know,
live or dead.
wouldn't want it to hit our house anyway. So if it's dead, yeah, we'll be dealing with that.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Any additional questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Is there anyone present who'd like to speak in favor of this case? Anyone who'd like to speak in favor? All right. Anyone who would like to speak in opposition? Okay. I do not believe you swore in. Okay. If you plan on speaking, I need you to stand and raise your right hand, please. All right. Do you promise to tell the truth? If so, say, I will. All right, thank you. All right, go ahead, and the first one of you can come forward. State your name and your address.
My name is Sarah Diamond, D-I-M-A-N. I live at 2000 Belmont Place, which means I live approximately across the street. There's one house down, but I'm across the street. I've lived at this residence for 54 years. This is a one-block cul-de-sac area, which means there's one way in, one way out. The street is narrow, so if you've got cars parked on both sides of the street, UPS, FedEx, Amazon does have trouble getting up the street. And I do know that in the past, I believe they have called on cars that were parked out there. So this becomes a problem for me because I live at the top of the hill. It makes it difficult for me to get in and out of my driveway if the street is blocked up. Also, because this is basically a residential area, I don't want an Airbnb in my neighborhood. I don't want the coming and going of people who don't respect and don't live there. The rest of us, we've been there for several years. Yes, there is a couple, 3 rental houses, and I know some of the neighbors, and they are very polite. They respect all of us who live there. They have small children. This cul-de-sac is known for children playing in it. My sons were raised in this neighborhood. The cul-de-sac was their playground. They rode their bikes, they rode their skates. The only traffic we get in this area is those of us who live there, except for delivery drivers. So I just, in my own mind, I don't want this. And don't take this the wrong way, but I have a feeling that you people, based on the previous cases I've heard tonight, have already made up your mind of what you're going to do. And I'm sorry that I have to say that, but that's the way I feel. And I don't think that my voice is going to sway you, which I hope it does. because I am not in favor of this rental property going in under a short-term Airbnb. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Anyone else who would like to speak in opposition? Go ahead, ma'am. And please state your name and your address as well.
Good evening. I'm Susie Warnock. I live at 1936 South Belmont Place. I've lived there for 58 years, so I have some history there. I've raised 4 children there. I've seen rental houses come and go. I have 2 rental houses, one on the north side of me and one on the south side. Rental houses don't bother me, the people that have them, and along with me, we try to keep them up, keep the neighborhood even. Even the people that this gentleman has rented to, they've kept it pretty reasonable, and children have lived there. They've all played together. Things have gone well. But when someone rents or has people in the neighborhood that don't want to take care of their area, and that goes with short-term rentals, it doesn't mean anything to them. They come, they do their thing, and they leave. They don't care what they do to the people that live there all the time. My neighbor here had a time when a man rented a house, and the people partied constantly. They were next door to me. They kept us up at night. They didn't do anything to help us out about getting rid of these people. The police could not do a lot about it. They ignored the people they rented to until we finally had those people leave. They blocked the cul-de-sac with cars parked in the cul-de-sac where she could not get out of her driveway to go pick her husband up at the airport. It's been a real problem to us at different times. We don't want that kind of situation ever to happen again. With a part-time or short-term rental, we can see this happening again. I've had young people come up and urinate in my front yard headed for a different house to go to a party. We don't want that type of situation ever happening. We want family people in our neighborhood. We don't want short-term rentals in the neighborhood because they don't care what they do to the facilities they're in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. All right. Anyone else who would like to speak in opposition? Go ahead and come forward. Were you sworn in, ma'am? Okay. And state your name and your address.
My name is Sarah Toddy, and my address is 2001 South Belmont Place. It's right next door.
Okay.
I'm not necessarily in opposition of a VRBO or short-term rental.
Sure.
My concern mainly, which was already addressed with the yard, the trees, they are encroaching. I'm right next door. They're encroaching into ours. So I'm just concerned with that and the parking. As long as they stay within the driveway that they have, which they have two driveways, I feel like that's sufficient. Nobody should be parked on the street. Like Sarah mentioned, we do have a hard time having the Amazon delivery drivers come through. Even our mailman who comes through, mail person, I should say, they come through, and sometimes we don't even get our mail when people are parked in that street on both sides. So just my concerns are, I would like to know that those things would be addressed, as well as the noise ordinance, how the trash was being handled, which I saw some of those things, and how will the neighbors would be able to be in contact with the owner directly if we have concerns as neighbors, So that's all.
All
I'm
right.
not necessarily in opposition, but I just have some things I feel like need to be addressed.
Absolutely.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you very much. Anyone else present who'd like to speak in opposition or has questions? All right, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and invite the applicant back up to address any of the concerns that you've heard.
Those are all obviously valid concerns. you know, I feel there's a lot of fear sometimes with short-term rentals, not knowing how they operate and what can be done to mitigate some of the situations that you guys are worried about. As for the parking, on the application, I was just putting down that there's plenty of parking. If street parking is an issue, we don't need it, and I could have that part of our application that we don't have any street parking. So I can squash that issue if that's a situation there. As for partying and that kind of thing, my managers, the way they do their reservations to avoid partying is they will not let anyone that has an address, within 50-mile radius, I believe is what they use, so they don't get locals to come in. They only give out the actual address of the property a couple of hours prior to check-in, so they can't go out and advertise on social media, hey, we're going to have a party, or let everybody know, hey, we're having a party here this weekend. They do everything they can to limit that from happening, so we don't have locals, having a New Year's Eve party there, or bachelor party, or whatever they're going to do. Those things don't happen. We're looking for out-of-town guests that come in, that they're there for with their families, maybe a group of friends, maybe it's a reunion of some sort, but they're coming in to be together in one property, to have dinner together in that property, maybe a cookout on the back deck, things like that, and then go see the city, go to World Cup, go to see the Royals, the Chiefs, whatever the case may be. Those are the kind of customers we're looking for. And to be honest, they will take better care of my property because they're not there all the time. They're there a limited amount of time. Even a good short-term rental is probably only occupied 40% of the time. So you're not going to have tons of people there most of the time. Just at certain times you will. But again, it'll be limited to the occupancy, which is standard for that house. They'll be parked in the driveway. If you're worried about, issues of trashing a property or doing things like that or making things look bad, again, when I have less power when I have a tenant that does that. If a tenant decides to have a party, it'll take me 60 days to get them out if I have a valid reason. And just having a party is not a valid reason to kick somebody out of the house. So I have less control. If we have house rules that say no partying and they exceed the noise meter that we'll have in place, we can immediately tell them to leave, cancel the reservation and their booking, and they have to get out. We also have their credit card on file, and there are rules. If they damage or create issues, we can fine them. So we have a lot more control with short-term rental that we don't have with a long-term renter. Long-term renter, we can try to be their parent and yell at them. That's about it. And then we can go through the courts, which everybody knows takes quite a while. And again, that's you have a little bit more pull for us to take care of issues quickly. And again, if there is a problem, I'll definitely make sure anybody that wants to have our contact info.
Sir, make sure that you're addressing us.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'll make sure that they have, contact information, for us. So that way, if there is a problem that we're not aware of, that wasn't caught by the monitors or something like that, then, we'll address it.
All right, I need a clarification. Noise monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
What is your plan if they exceed that?
We'll probably, what we'd like to do is if it's a quick courtesy call and they can just squash the issue, then that's great. If they do exceed it again, then I'd say at that point they had their one chance. I mean, that's what I would imagine is we'd have to have it written in the policy that's in the house and part of the reservation, but that's what I anticipate. I feel is fair to everybody involved.
Okay, and is it in your policy that there are no parties allowed?
Yeah. I mean, that's
Okay.
straight up. I'm not having a house get tore up by a party.
Okay.
It cost me nearly $20,000 just to furnish the house. The last thing I want is one party to have me spend another $20,000 because they did whatever.
And will you add something about no street parking?
Yeah,
I know you have plenty of parking, but
we don't need it, so I mean we can put that in and make that requirement. So if somebody
Okay.
does park, you can give us a call and we'll address it with them. If they don't want to move, then, we have a little bit more pull to get them out, so.
All right. Additional questions for our applicant?
I have a question for staff.
All right, Commissioner O'Neill?
Do we have a valid protest petition?
No protest petition has been submitted to the city for this application.
All right. Good question. Thank you. All right. Anything else you want us to know before we adjourn our hearing?
I think I covered it. I mean, if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
All right. Thank you very much. Commissioners, anything? All right. I'm going to close the public.
She wants to ask another question.
If you want to ask another question, you have to be at the microphone, so you're more than welcome to come up to it. Can you restate your name for us, please, so it's on the record?
Yes, Sarah Diamond, D-I-M-A-N, 2000 Belmont Place.
What else do you
One
want
of-
us to know, ma'am?
One of the questions that we have is, this is saying short-term rental. If it is approved, is this a short-term rental for the next 10 years? Is this a short-term rental for 6 months, 1 year? What is the definition of a short-term rental? To me, Airbnb is a, how do I phrase this? It's a motel that is in a residential area, because you can rent it for 3 days, you can rent it for 1 week, you can rent it for 6 months, you can rent it for a year, but you've got constant turnover all the time. You have that in motels. So could you please explain what you mean short-term rental, please?
Absolutely. We will let the staff address that one because they have all of the regulations. So,
Yeah.
Gabe, do you want to kind of give the parameters of why it's called a short-term rental?
Yes. So a short-term rental defined under city code is a single-family dwelling with full independent living facilities that is rented out for less than 30 days. So a short-term rental under the definitions in the city code is defined as a single-family residential dwelling unit with full independent living facilities that is rented out for periods of time less than 30 days.
Could you also address when a short-term rental is approved through the city, how often that needs to come forward for reapproval or anything like that?
Yes. So once a short-term rental is approved by the city, the business operator can operate that business indefinitely as a short-term rental, barring any code violations or other violations that would require revocation. Once that property changes ownership, the license is not transferable to the next property owner. So that is a provision of the city code that any property owner is required to obtain approval to operate the unit as a short-term rental. In addition to the initial approval of a short-term rental, the city code requires business operators to obtain a license through the Regulated Industries Division. The business license issued by the City of Independence is valid for 1 calendar year from the date of issuance, at which time the business operator is required to renew their license. Renewing a business license requires full compliance with city code, so you've got insurance certification, transient guest tax, you've got rental ready inspections. So on an annual basis, city staff are ensuring that the business is complying with all of the use standards associated with operating a short-term rental.
And can you, I guess, just respond to if there are concerns or complaints?
So in accordance with city code, the the use regulations provide a provision for the revocation of a short-term rental license upon, multiple violations of the code. So if there are complaints about the operations, those can be submitted to the city, and if the business operator has violated the city code, and I may have to defer to Rick on the letter of the law here, but
So if they're cited for 2 or more offenses within a 3-month period, that could cause a revocation hearing. As Gabe said, if they are in violation of other parts of the code, if they are in violation of any of the criteria that are spelled out with their approval, those could all create a revocation hearing. And then that hearing would be here with Planning Commission to revoke that permit.
All right.
Otherwise, if they do renew it annually, and if they're in good standing, they can do so. If they choose not to renew it, and then they have a 6-month period to renew that permit. If they don't, then they lose that permit. They'd have to come back to this commission to renew that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Did that answer your questions, ma'am?
Yeah, so
All right.
then this raises another question for me. If we feel that there is an incident going on at that resident, can I, as a private homeowner on the same block, call the police, or do I have to only contact the owner of the home to tell him we got a problem?
I'm going to speak as a citizen. You can call the police anytime. However, I will say as the commissioner talking about short-term rentals, I strongly encourage developing a relationship with those that have licenses in your neighborhood. I'm going to defer to our attorney in the room to maybe answer that question.
Well, more specifically in this case, the city prosecutor. You always have the recourse of calling the police if there's something going on in a neighborhood. I agree with Chairperson Wiley that is probably not the best way to harbor and to develop good relationships with your neighbors. I would contact the neighbor first. But something else, and I feel like I should have said this months ago when we started having quite a few short-term rental hearings come up. I have been at this job almost 24 years now. I have never once had a neighbor call about a problem with the short-term rental. Problems with neighbors that have been neighbors for years? Oh yeah, because it takes a long time to develop those kind of venomous, nasty relationships that neighbors seem to get. I get those weekly. Short-term rentals, I have never once had a phone call from anybody complaining about them. It just simply doesn't happen. Not to say it couldn't, but it just doesn't happen. They do a really good job of weeding out the people. It seems to me they do a really good job of weeding out the people they rent to. But the short answer is yes, you do have the ability to call the police. I would not recommend it, and the police are not going to be able to do much. It's not as if they're going to arrest and clear out a house. That's not what's going to happen. If there is a problem at a residence, I would strongly, again, I agree with the chairperson, I would strongly suggest that you cultivate a good relationship with the owner of the residence.
Okay. Well, I know when we had the one rental property that Susie talked about, it got to the point where neighbors would call the police, and they flat out told us, we're not coming out. We can't do anything. The night that she's talking about, believe it or not, there were 42 cars parked on this one block cul-de-sac with no less than 2 people per car.
Thank you. I'm sure I can give a note to someone at the city regarding your street and parking concerns.
So, but
But for our hearing.
You answered our question of what a short term is.
Yes.
And that basically was what we were looking at. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Applicant, I'd like to call you back up. I'd just like to know, do you have any problem providing your personal information to your neighbors that have concerns?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, so I have a lot of rental properties, and I do have my own staff, so it'll probably be my staff that's on call. But yeah, we have a phone number that they can call, and they'll get a hold of somebody that's always available.
All right. Thank you very much. Any additional questions before I close the public hearing? Okay, public hearing is closed.
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Nesbitt.
I make a motion we approve case 26-400-04, short-term rental, 1947 South Belmont Place.
I have a first. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Torres. All right, I will call for the vote, please.
Commissioner Nesbitt,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Chair Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 5-0 for case number 26-400-03. Excuse me, wrong one. 04. For some reason, I've lost what the address is.
14407.
Thank you.
1947.
1947 South Belmont Place. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate all comments. We really do. We consider them greatly. And thank you for looking at this new opportunity for you, and I hope it's successful and that you have a great relationship with your neighbors. All right, I will call up our last case for the evening. It is for case number 26-400-05, short-term rental at 3509 South Maybrook Avenue. Gabe.
Ready. Yeah, this is an application for short-term rental approval of a property located west of 291 on the, it's a little further north from a commercial corridor along 39th Street. Here's a notification area map as required by city code. Zoning district map of the surrounding neighborhood shows that it's all single family and zoning classification and land use. An aerial image of the subject site, the property is described as lot 63 of the Bramblewood subdivision. The property is approximately 7,500 square feet in size. County records indicate the dwelling was constructed in the 80s. The dwelling encloses approximately 1,400 square feet of living area and is supplied with a 2-car garage and driveway. The main floor of the house has a living room, kitchen room, master bedroom, and 2 additional bedrooms, so a total of 3 bedrooms on the main level. The walkout basement has a family room, office, and another bedroom. As discussed previously, the property has a 2-car wide driveway and a 2-car garage. The driveway allows parking for up to 4 vehicles. Guests will have access to the garage. The applicant has provided a noise monitoring or noise management system that includes the posting of quiet hours and the use of a continuous noise monitoring device. The applicant has indicated compliance with all of the city's use regulations pertaining to short-term rentals. That includes noise monitoring, trash collection, bookings, and so forth. Here's a street-level photo of the front facade. I do apologize. So it does not appear to be the picture of the front facade.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, we can pull up the Google imagery if you'd like here.
Yes, please.
And I do apologize.
Were you home shopping and just put up the wrong house?
That's right. Yeah.
We get so many sometimes.
I
pictures
get it.
Yes. This is the
I'll say that's what I'm looking at.
yeah.
The homeowner knew right away.
Yes. So hopefully we don't encounter any more similar issues, but if we do, please let me know. So this is the floor plan submitted by the applicant, is my understanding. And the main level does have 3 bedrooms as discussed previously. And the lower level also includes a bedroom that does comply with building code requirements, so is supplied with a proper egress window for residential occupancy. An evacuation plan as required by city code, showing the nearest fire exits. And a parking plan shows a driveway large enough for 4 vehicles, meeting the city's requirements. Lastly, a map showing the nearest short-term rental shows that the subject site is well outside of any required 500-foot separation. So that does not appear to be the street-level imagery either. So we will use some street level views looking southbound in the subdivision and then north. Majority of the neighborhood has similar characteristics for their age, design, and style of the house. Staff does recommend approval of the short-term rental with standard conditions. In this case, the maximum number of guests will be 8, and the maximum number of bedrooms will be 4. That concludes staff's presentation. I'm available for any questions.
Right. Do we have any questions for Gabe?
Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Nesbitt.
Hey, Gabe, on the application, were they trying for more bedrooms, or were they only trying for 4 when they started?
So on the original application, the applicant did indicate 4 bedrooms.
Okay. But I'm just curious of the downstairs being office and workshop. I mean, they're all look about the same size, but we'll let the applicant answer that question.
Any additional questions for staff? All right, I'm going to invite the applicant up. And state your name and your home address, please.
Stormy Pryor, 3509 South Maybrook Avenue.
All right, tell us about your property.
So I stay right across the street. I'm 3510, and so I'm excited to invite families here to Kansas City to stay in our space. It's a very spacious, nice home that was recently remodeled. We are new to this too, so we're taking like baby steps. It's a dwelling room downstairs, so it has an egress window, so we figured we couldn't consider that live-in, so we could, 4 bedrooms, and then the other space we would do entertainment because we're hoping that we get families that'll come, and we're right on 39th Street with lots of dining and shopping, so we're excited to see, hopefully, that with the World Cup, and that we can accommodate people as they come.
All right, thank you very much. Gabe, 4 bedrooms, 8 people. maximum 10, so that would be including all children.
Correct.
Okay. I just want to make sure you understood that.
Yes, I
10 is the max.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
And I'm right next door, so it's like I have my eyes on top of the noise monitoring devices that we're going to use, and then also security cameras in case I'm not, at my house. But
Okay. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Wait a minute, Chair.
Oh, go ahead.
She said her address was 3509. Where do you live at right now?
3510.
Right
Okay, that
across
needs
the
to be-
street.
Yeah, well, but it wasn't, when she came up, she said she lived at 3509.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I thought we were saying the address of the.
No, we just want to know where you live at.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So you just live right across the street, so
Yep.
you'll be taking care of it. It looks like a nice house, so.
All right. Any additional questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone who'd like to speak in favor? Anyone to speak in favor? Seeing none. Anyone to speak in opposition? No one to speak in opposition. I'm going to close the public hearing.
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Nesret.
I make a motion we approve case 26-400-05, short-term rental, 3509 South Maybrook Avenue.
I have a first
Second.
and a second from Commissioner Young. All right. I will call for the vote.
Commissioner Nesbitt,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Chair Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 5-0 for case number 26-400-05, short-term rental at 3509 South Maybrook Avenue. Congratulations and good luck, and I hope you really enjoy it.
It's a beautiful house.
All right. Have a good evening. You too. We do have a couple of things to discuss. We do have a couple of things to discuss to put on your calendars. So I think the number might be wrong in my head, but I think we have about 30 short-term rentals already on the books coming. Is that right? Between now and May?
About 20.
20 more. So just FYI. And then we have our all-important CIP meeting, which there's no way to shorten that, and there's no way to move it to make for a short meeting. It will be added to an already long meeting. So can you remind us of the date of that again?
So you're saying there's no way we can add more short-term rentals quicker, or do we have to wait, or?
No, it's just we have, like at each meeting, how many do we have in the next one?
They're already on the books docket
Yeah.
already, so we just know at least 20 are coming.
Well, I mean, could we add a few more to each session before the CIP is what I'm wondering.
That's really dependent on, because they're already like in a process. So, and then we advertise them and send out the notices, so they're kind of already set in that particular.
Because we're on a
date.
deadline for the CIP.
So, you know, my goal is to get the CIP on the March 10th meeting. The 24th is kind of our backup, because we do have to have it before April. That's what that's what we actually have in the charter. So we do have to have it before April. And we have like 6, I think, at the next meeting, and then one after that is probably 5 or 6, and then probably another 4 already. We'll probably get more short-term rentals after that. So it's pretty much a short-term rental show all the way through probably May,
Right.
at least for now. So yes, we'll have probably this many plus a couple more with the CIP. And then, of course, we'll have representatives from the departments for those as well. Unfortunately, that's just how the schedule has shaken out, and so we'll just deal with it
So
the best
that's
we can.
March 10th.
Yes.
Okay. 10th.
Yeah. So we're going for March 10th for the CIP.
Now, can I ask for a request that we have the whole CIP mailed to us a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance? I mean, I don't know when you guys put it out.
That might be challenging.
'Cause
We're
that
still
makes it a whole
working.
lot easier for me
We're
to
still
look
working
at.
on it.
It's a whole lot easier for me to look at within the paper form.
No, I
Can
get it.
you notify us and have it ready at least a week in advance to
That's
even
what
come
I'm-
pick it up?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do. And
Okay.
so we're
Will
still
that
working
work?
on it this week. We'll probably have it put together and peer reviewed. I'm hoping by the end of next week. That'll give us hopefully 2 weeks to get this out and make copies and make sure there's no changes to it. And we'll try to get it to you guys as soon as we can.
Okay, because, I mean, we should have it 2 weeks before our meeting,
That
right?
That is the goal, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, that's what
it'll
it
be,
says we got to have before we
yeah,
have a meeting.
it'll be, like I said, if we can't hit that, then the next one will be the second meeting in March. So,
Okay.
but
Michael,
either
have you been through the CIP? Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't new for
either
anybody.
one though, we're still going to have
A very
4 or
long meeting.
5, possibly 6 short-term rental cases on that meeting. So
Let's make them sit and wait while we do the CIP.
Well, they'll learn about the city. It could technically not be a bad thing. But all right. Anything else for the good of the night in the order? All right.
Now, are we moving? Or are we staying here?
okay,
for-
so I
We
do have a
will-
little bit of an update on that. So we will be here the first meeting in March. So March 10th will be our last meeting here.
Here, okay.
Yes.
After that, there could be 2 possibilities. Hopefully, we'll be able to meet in the new building on the
So
first
the new
floor.
building's going to have something like this, or?
There's going to be 2 rooms. There's actually going to be a council chambers, and then there's already a big conference room. I would call it. It's very similar to the IUC conference room, the room 112 that you guys might be familiar with. And so it's either going to be at the IUC or hopefully if they get all the technology, and it sounds like that will hopefully be the case, and then we'll be able to meet at the new building. And so the council chambers is still a work in progress. So we won't be meeting there yet, but so that's the update. But yes, one more in March. So basically 2 more times we'll meet here.
Okay.
And then
When
that's
you
it.
show up here and there's no building, that'll be the clue that we
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's probably
That's
what's going
true.
to happen to the court. We'll just show up and, oh, I guess we are going somewhere else.
Yeah. So if there's no building here, it's one of those 2 places. We'll let you guys know. Obviously, we're gonna have to advertise it. So
All right.
Yeah.
For the good of the record, I want to thank you, Rick, for stepping in when necessary. Prosecuting attorney, thank you for stepping in when needed. And to Gabe, excellent job.
I may make that little speech
4 cases. So
the next few weeks.
all right, good.
so I do
Because,
want to.
and that's the
Yeah.
truth.
'Cause
Long-term rentals and long-term neighbors cause the most problems. Short-term rentals, never.
I do want to also point out the code actually prohibits parties.
I know. I was
So-
kind of ready for somebody to just
Yeah,
say it's not the fact that it's going to be in your policy. It's actually not
Yeah,
allowed.
the code prohibits parties and gatherings, and there's some verbiage in there. But basically, yeah, you're not supposed to have parties anyway.
What district is that street in? Because for them to have that kind of problem, they should
Fourth
be
district?
notified.
It's in the fourth district.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for all. Happy Valentine's Day. And the meeting is adjourned at 7:16.